So it's been quite a day. I got lots going on here in the real world. Something that's been hanging over my head for 5 years has apparently moved ahead somewhat without my input. Apparently we've had a court case without me being informed, and despite them having my phone number and address, somehow they've gone ahead and had the court case. I went this morning to pick up the paperwork, but to be honest, I didn't look at it. I'm procrastinating. I kind of don't know the result. But in the background, we've got these deep, deep rumblings. What is that? Can you hear that? I don't know what that is. Is that thunder? Earthquakes? It's like being ongoing for. I don't think you get an earthquake ripple in the way that we've had this. I know earthquakes are said to appear in storms nowadays, where an earthquake one side of the Mediterranean and 3 days later one in the middle and one at the end of the Med. But what's this? There's an ongoing deep rumble. It's not an aeroplane. It's got to be thunder. Sun's still shining. We've got sunshine and fairly clear skies out this way. But it is 17:48. 12 minutes to 6. Don't know, folks. It's been a day, and I think me and Tina are both feeling it. Hey, Tina. Tina T. That's my girl, look. Here she is. Tina. Hey, babe. You don't know what the noise is, do you? I'm unsure as well. Daddy can't reassure you because I don't know. Maybe it's the end of the world as we know it. Teotihuacan, as my prepper friends would say, it's the initials. The end of the world as we know it. Teotihuacan. Twatki. Something like that. But strange times, folks. Maybe tomorrow I'll pluck up the courage to look at the paperwork. I went to the courthouse this morning, all trepidation and everything. My friend Karen and her family helped by looking after Tina and driving me into the centre of town. I went in, I was all nervous. I'm not used to being around that many people. And they acknowledged me in the reception on the floor I needed to go to. Acknowledged me, but then ignored me for 10 minutes. Then came to me and asked me to sit down for 10 minutes. And then just gave me the papers and waved me away. Now in the past, I've had another case in the past. They insisted on sitting me down in a side room. You hear that? They insisted in the past on sitting me down in a side room and going through in detail what the adjudication was. Now bear in mind, folks, this is a court case about an incident 5 years ago. November 2019, so 4.5, I guess, if you're going to be funny. And they know where I am. They know my address. It's actually on the paperwork they eventually brought me. I got a phone call yesterday asking, what country are you in? Where are you living? What's the score? Are you in Torrevieja? Yeah. I'm exactly where I was where you last arrested me. I am where you know me to be. Okay. 10 minutes we'll be there. I said, yeah, but why? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? Papel. Papers. What, my papers, your papers, which papers, what? No. They brought me a bit of paper that said, okay, here's the clever part. The policeman told me that in 3 days, so he's saying this on Wednesday, in 3 days you have to be in court. That's what he told me. In 3 days. Fortunately, Google Translate explained it better. Within 3 days, you have to go to the court and get the resolution of the court case. So here's the thing. A court case has happened without anybody notifying me, despite them knowing where I live. They arrest me here. They visit me frequently. If you've watched the channel any amount of time, you know they visit me frequently. They arrest me periodically. I've been in the courthouse within the last year. Okay? They know who I am, what I am, where I am. They know how to find me, how to come to me, how to contact me. They have my phone number. They phoned me yesterday morning. But 1 or 2 months ago, they had a court case about me without inviting me to face my accusers. Does anybody see the problem with this? In a modern democracy, bearing in mind the questions that I've asked the Guardia Sizzle here about whether Spain's a democracy. Too much of a democracy or not a democracy? Those were 2 answers I got from the Guardia Sizzle agents, way back. Too much a democracy, not a democracy. I'd sack those fuckers if I was Spain. That is not the representation you want to give the world. But here I am. They know where I am. They have my contact details. The paperwork they sent me through that was already... The guy was ringing to get my location so that the agents that were already en route could bring the paper. They already had the address. It's printed. There are 2 past addresses on the paperwork, but not the... So there's one from a while ago and there's one from now, and there's 2 in the middle not included. I've commented at length about Spanish bureaucracy, how they love their bureaucracy and how they're really, really bad at it. I would put this right down there as an example. They had my phone number, they had my address, but they had a trial without notifying me about the trial. I'm going to appeal. I'm going to say not guilty. The long and the short is I was ejected from a bar. I agreed to leave. The bar manager grabbed my arm and frog marched me out and threw me into a table of his customers. That's a separate issue. But anyway, I didn't go straight home. I hung about the bar. Why? Here's why. Her. I went to the loo and he grabbed me as I came out of the loo, and my dog was tied to the railings inside. But he'd told none of the staff to talk to me or have anything to do with me. The people outside the bar wouldn't help me because I'd crashed into their table. Why? Because he threw me into their table, trying to knock their drinks over. By a almost superhuman effort, I calculated like a 45-degree angle and I crashed into their table at 45 degrees. Maximum absorption of power into the legs and into the ground. Their drinks were all rocked and spilled a bit, probably, but not a single drink was knocked over out of the 8 people at the table. But the people didn't see this happen, so I was just some bloke crashing into their table. So they weren't happy. People around all looked around and saw a guy, crashing into a table. What are they going to think? They weren't on my side, were they? Police arrived, and in his left hand, so they 30 seconds after getting out of their car, 30 seconds. Remember this number, 30 seconds. They park and they get out of the car. And the cop comes up and in his left hand, he's waving handcuffs. And I said, "That's not necessary." And he pulls the baton and flicks it, extends the baton and waves it twice above my head. And I say, in Spanish, "Es un broma." It's a joke. You're joking. Whack, 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 whack. Twice to the arm, twice to the leg. And at the same instant, his friend who'd snuck around behind, it's what they do. When two of them get out of a car, one walks towards you slowly, one walks a little bit faster and goes around behind you. Then he sneaks up on you and he rugby tackles you from behind. 30 seconds after them getting out of the car, and it took 20 seconds for them to walk across. 30 seconds later, I'm on the floor, hogtied, handcuffed, and them laying on my back and me fearing that I can't breathe. Fortunately, only for about 10 seconds. They got up and got me up. But this is what the court case has been that's held me in Spain. This is why I couldn't leave the country. This is why I got arrested when I got to the airport when I tried to leave the country a couple of years ago. Tina! Stop it! Dog. But this is the reason I've not been able to leave the country. So now, after 5 years, we have some form of resolution unless I appeal. But I'm telling you now, my intention, without even reading the paperwork, my intention is to appeal. How fucking dare they have a court case without me when they have my address, my location, my phone number? How very dare they? What the fuck kind of justice is this? I get angry sometimes. But what the fuck is that? They rang me to ask me where I am, and I'm at the location that's on the paperwork that they're bringing. I'm at the phone number that they have on record. How did they have a fucking court case 1 or 2 months ago without me, when they arrested me a year ago in this location? I'm homeless, so you get interactions with the police. It happens. They come along at random or sometimes more organised. Like when 12 of them came to arrest me when I told the man from the council I had no papers. I don't have any papers that they... Here's the other thing. I have a passport that is ruined by floods and that in the courthouse has been rejected before as unworthy, as not good enough because it's water damaged. But today it was good enough. I didn't offer it when they asked for it in the past. I said, no, I don't have anything that you'll accept. I have nothing acceptable to you because I've been told by them it's not acceptable. Today it was acceptable. Okay, folks, this wasn't meant to be a 15-minute video. I wouldn't have done it in fucking portrait if it was intended to be any more than 30 seconds. I'm sorry, but I'm annoyed, I'm angry. I will be. I signed the paperwork, accepted the papers, reject the sent. I didn't want there to be any mistake. I was not accepting the sentence from whatever that I haven't read, from a court case I had no part of, with a lawyer I've never met. What the fuck? What the fuck kind of justice is this? Okay. Delta Mike, out.